Indiana State kicker Andrew Lunsford. Andrew, kind of wanted to talk about your journey getting here and also what you've done since you've been here, and kind of give me a quick overview of how comfortable you are. You got 2 games under your belt doing kickoffs, and how would you assess how you've done so far?
Given that I'm playing at a much higher level than I was before I came here, I'd say I'm still adjusting, but I'm glad that I've been able to still put the ball out the back of the end zone.
Yeah, that's been an important element for Indiana State's defense that you've been able to add that wasn't always there last year. You know, just talk about that aspect of it. It's pretty obvious what it can do for the defense to make them defend a longer field, and what kind of pride do you take in that to give them 75 yards to defend when you get it through the back of the end zone?
Well, you know, it's my job. I take a lot of pride in what I do. I've worked really hard to get to where I am now, and you know, I just love taking care of my coverage team, making sure they don't gotta, you know, do anything but take a nice leisurely jog down to the end zone and go celebrate with my teammates on the sideline.
Do the defensive guys ever give you a pat on the back or anything like that? Say, you know, thanks a lot for giving us 75 yards to defend?
Oh, absolutely. It's great being able to put your defense in a good situation from the get-go. You know, they give us a nice 3 and out, and gets our offense a good field position to start off with too.
It's quite a journey to get here. Of course, you had some adversity to overcome with your motorcycle accident that occurred in Florida, where you're from.
Absolutely.
You know, talk me through that, and you know how difficult it was, and you know, just the process of getting through that to get here and play football.
It was a tough ride. Definitely wasn't something I was able to get over on my own. Had my wife, had my family. Took a long time, but you know, through a lot of perseverance, faith, and like I said, my family helping me get through it, I'm glad to be able to stand where I am now.
Just to review things, you were hit by somebody down there on your motorcycle, correct?
Yes, sir.
What was the extent of the injuries at the time?
It was pretty bad. The trauma from the accident caused my lower body to essentially shut down. Initially, the doctors thought I was paralyzed because I wasn't able to feel anything from the waist down. And it was that way for a little over a month. And then the feelings started to come back little by little, and you know, through a lot of extensive rehab, started to walk again, started to jog again, and eventually was able to get back on the field and start putting in work.
Yeah, the rehab just to get back to walking alone had to be pretty difficult, apart from getting back to the way you could kick. You know, was that a 2-part process, or did it kind of roll together? How did that part of it play out?
Well, to be honest, the first thing going through my head was just being able to walk again. Playing sports again, even being able to lift again was basically just completely out of the question as far as I was concerned. But once I started to realize how much of a full recovery I was going to be able to make, then I started to entertain the idea of getting back into competition and athletics, and eventually was able to start training again.
You, when did you kind of have a breakthrough, I guess, if I'm simplifying things? I imagine there wasn't one moment, but when did you start to feel like this could be a realistic chance for you to get back into this?
Actually, there was one defining moment. I was getting ready to go on a trip where I was going to be proposing to my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife. The day before I left on the trip, I got a call from a Division II school in Virginia and got offered a full ride scholarship right then and there. That was in July of last year, I believe. And it was then in that moment where I knew that, like, the competitive juices started to flow again, and I knew that this was what I wanted to do. I actually turned down that offer over the phone right then and there. Went and proposed to my girlfriend, and now she's my wife. And after that, started training because I knew that come this time next year, this is what I wanted to do.
How did Indiana State find you? How did that process go, and how did you get linked up with the Sycamores?
My information got to them through my kicking coach, Brandon Kornblue, with Kornblue Kicking. He is my kicking coach back in Southwest Florida. Trained me, trained my younger brother, and you know, he's just got extensive contacts and very, very trusted guy. So him being able to, you know, put his reputation on the line for me definitely says a lot when he tells that to a coach.
What'd you like about it here? What kind of clinched the decision for you?
Honestly, it was the opportunity to play Division I football, be able to play in the best conference in FCS football, and really get a shot to do what I feel like I was always supposed to do.
You also have an interesting background in the respect that you were a homeschooled athlete, and that's becoming more common, but kind of talk about that experience and how that, and I know you didn't just play football, but how that kind of influenced how you are and your makeup as a person.
Mm-hmm. Well, being a homeschooled athlete, it's definitely a lot harder to break into the starting positions. You have to work a lot harder, I feel like, and you have a lot more to prove because they don't know you on a personal level. They just see what you're out there doing and capable of athletically. I actually never played football in high school. I was soccer and track and field. Didn't start playing football until after high school. But that competitive drive that I learned at an early age has definitely helped me to break into the level of play that I am now.
What do you want to work on the most? You've had 2 games under your belt, obviously 9 more to go this season. What's kind of your regimen, and what are you working on to improve your craft even more?
Right now, my main focus is consistency. I know what I'm capable of. I know that if I do what I'm supposed to, I can put the ball out the back of the end zone every single time. It's really just comes down to being able to do that every single time. I've had 2 kicks that went out of bounds and put my defense in a bad situation. My main focus right now is to be consistent with what I can control and make sure that I'm doing that.
Sounds good, Andrew. It's good to talk to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.